I should play the Riddick games on stream. It's been forever since I played those. I only ever played Escape from Butcher Bay, but they need to get a new Riddick game. I personally need new Riddick anything, please. It's very unfortunate that the biggest one in the franchise, Chronicles, is not the best. Like the new Riddick, I say new, but like what, 2015, 2016. Like that Riddick movie was great. Pitch Black was great. I really liked Dark Athena was the game. The animated movie. That one was pretty good. Vin pitched Escape from Butcher Bay as Punch Out plus Splinter Cell. The fucking madman did it. I mean, where's the lie? I mean, it's a great game. God, it's been forever since I played that. No, no, please, no more. He literally admitted that in an interview. It worked. If it works, where's the harm? Fucking worked. The man knew what he wanted to make. Exactly. Oh, there we go. Oh, how many more crystals could there be, right? Oh god, where am I going? I know there's some movies, at least from what I've heard. Uh, I don't want to state it as fact if this is not how the negotiations shook out. But Vin Diesel signed on with the studio to be in like a lot of the bigger movies because he's star power. In exchange, the studio would finance a lot of his passion projects, and that's how we ended up with. There was the newer Riddick movie. That's how we ended up with the Last Witch Hunter. You're back. Yeah, no problem. But I just think about how Vin Diesel's like, yeah, I'll be in Fast and Furious 9 if you make my fantasy movie about a witch hunter. I mean, those movies also make him a lot of money, so I'm sure that helped. Man, the camera loves to just get snagged on everything. Ah, cool. Don't you just love animals? It happens. I've been a cat owner. It happens. Oh man. Ba, 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 ba. Well, how many more moonstones do we have to get? 4. So that'll be 12,000 and a skill point if we get them all. Oh, tempting. Yeah, let's go. Oh. Well, we've been everywhere out in the tundra. Which means it's probably, they're probably from, some sea creatures that we, didn't take out. Some of these hydras. My god, these macro aggressions. No. Up the hill. Up the hill. Let's skate around the perimeter, see what we can find. No, not into the water. Oh, I hate that. Can't move. Let's go around the other direction. God, what I would give for 1,000,000 bolt for that last set of armor. There's one. Ah, there's two. That one's dead. I think it's sea creatures towards the middle of the tundra. I had to shake a guess. If you had to put a gun up to my head and get a suggestion out of me. What is this guy's health bar? Man. Not cool. Not cool, man. Duh. There, need one more. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Oh. You're dead. But you won't leave her. She doesn't know that. Why would you gaslight your cat like that? Why would you make false claims? Where is that fourth damn Chaos Emerald? The poop tyrant, jeez. It's not down here, is it? Pretty sure I got everything down here. Would it be obvious? It's a glowing blue crystal on a really cool blue area. Big floating gem. It's either going to be a patch of frozen over snow revealing a little pool like these ones. If the pools are already revealed, that means we killed the sea creature living in it. So it's either going to be a frozen over pool or a blue gem stuck into the ground. It will not be floating, unfortunately. Nope. I just want to look down there. Okay. I'm gonna call it. We're just gonna go on. Let's go turn in these. Maybe later. Maybe once we take care of the proto-pet, we can go back for this last damn moonstone. One more. It's fine. Going back to Maximo real quick, I wanted to kind of make a game like that unknowingly, so I've also been taking notes as to what moves I think could make fun, more faithful intended mechanics. But it wasn't really fine. Wait, what am I doing? No, I need to stay here. The thing I need to do is on this planet, anyway. Yeah, I think some of the best notes you could take from games. That's just how done you were. Getting off this fucking rock. I think some of the best games to take notes on are the ones that people were clearly passionate about making. Like, they might not be perfect games, but just see where the passion lies, see what they were willing to put time and effort into, see what was executed well. Oh, cool, knocked off the edge. You know, I don't think there's much to be gained from analyzing annual releases. You know, like, I don't think there's a lot to be learned from what Assassin's Creed is doing these days. Oh, come on. Yeah, like the annual releases, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, like, there's a handful of these annual releases that I just don't feel... Well, I guess Assassin's Creed isn't really an annual release anymore. But, oversaturated franchises. I feel like they do what they do well, but other games have already come along and also do it. So finding those games that were very clearly passion projects, I think there's a lot more merit in dissecting those and seeing what those accomplished and to what degree, and what you could add to that subgenre or something. You know, if it's a genre you're looking into, what can you bring to the table? And there we go. So video game eras, I always count everything up to the NES, even or the SNES, even the Genesis, as the Wild West of video game dev. No rules, flying by the seat, seeing what works. The second coming of that was the PS2, so I think it's infinitely valuable to go back and look at those games, because fuck, dude, the PS2 was so... Yeah, it was so experimental. They're... Because of, you know, the PlayStation was the first, you know, first console to use CD-ROMs, which, you know, so much more space available. The PS2 had a lot of like limited online capabilities, which, you know, that was new for console gaming anyway. There was just so much to play with, you know, and the PS2, the PS3 not so much, but like the PS2 was definitely, I think, a great time for. PS2 is also, the PS2 is still to this day the best-selling console of all time. Second to, I think, the PS4, the Switch, and then the Wii. Ratchet and Clank, Tulip, Mr. Mosquito. Just so much shit. If Mr. Mosquito is the game I'm thinking of, that is definitely a PS2 game. You know why that is, right? Is this because of like the government thing where the government tried to build a supercomputer out of PS2s? Is that why they sold so many? Just because of the government? Was it PS2s or PS3s that the government was trying to build? It was like quarter the cost of a DVD player, and it could play those. Wow, that's why the PlayStation 4 and the well, that's why the Xbox One X sold so well, because it could play 4K Blu-rays but also play games. Marketed it as a video game console and a DVD player. I believe that.
Hey, nice digs.
Yeah, it's a little remnant from my previous life.
You were reincarnated?
No. My Megacorp days. They've got a very generous bonus package.
Right. So now that you've got your ID badge, how do we take out the protopet?
Watch this.
Mommy, where do protopets come from?
Why, they come from Megacorp, dear.
That's right, Mrs. Robot. All of the protopets in the galaxy come from right here, in our factory. Your little friend is lovingly extracted from the original protopet. Each protopet is given a name and birth certificate that is unique. Our training system helps mold your pet into a wonderful friend that you'll cherish forever.
Delightful.
So the next time your child asks,
Mommy, where do protopets come from?
you can answer with confidence. They come from Megacorp.
That factory is using the original protopet to produce all the others.
Exactly. If we can take out the original protopet, that'll shut him down permanently.
20% off a complete service at Groovy Lube?
Oops. Wrong one. This will deactivate the door to the protopet duplication area. I'll meet you there.
Sure you want to split up?
Well, Megacorp's orbital defenses are nasty. With 2 ships, there's a good chance at least one of us will get through.
Good thinking. Just be careful.
Right.
Yeah, like, no, you say not to take anything away, but I mean, that's just good marketing. They knew that their product was a DVD player, and it was cheaper than standard DVD players, so I think that's just good marketing on their part. Murray Chrysler. Yeah, it's Snow Planet. No more. Thanksgiving is over. It is now Christmas. Happy Merry Crimble. I would. You're right though. Capcom, even like for their huge. I definitely just didn't want to sound like a cell phone games aren't real games kind of dude. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah. I think because yeah, DMC 5, especially after the travesty that was DMC Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry 5 I can see as you know, at least a bit of a risk. But even for like Capcom's heavy hitting franchises, Resident Evil, you know, I would consider Resident Evil 7, you know, a huge gamble compared to the formula, because 5 and 6 were very stale because they were playing it very safe. You know, 4 did well, so they wanted to replicate that with 5. 5 was not great, so they started playing it safe with 6, and it became more of a, you know, an action shooter. The Aria revival was so good. 8 is my favorite. Full stop. Resident Evil 8 is my favorite Resident Evil game. I appreciate the 2 and 3 remakes. I'm excited for 4. God, I should that's something to add to the list. Let's do every I'm not gonna lie, I dread 8. You say when you say dread, are you saying like you haven't played it yet and you're dreading it, or you dread having to play it? Like you have played it and didn't like it, or you're not looking forward to it? I dread what it means for the series. Hated it conceptually. Really? I think I don't think we're gonna be getting anything else like it again. Just because it did kind of wrap up Ethan's story. R8 is way more of a Silent Hill than a Resident Evil. Well, I think it's still Resident Evil because it has, you know, there's still elements of previous Resident Evil games in there, but Lady D was just an 8-foot tall lady. No, she was a vampire. That was her whole thing. She wasn't just a tall lady. And became a vampire because of the virus of the game. She was a tall lady and then she was a vampire. You're right. I forgot about the case files. I remember reading the case files, and that is exactly. It's just that in my mind, what makes a Silent Hill game is the psychological horror stuff, and there's really only one segment that felt psychological. Everything in Resident Evil is really physical, you know, the T-virus, the outbreaks. It's all very physical and real. It's not just trapped within the realm of a single the doll levels, right? Yeah, I really liked House Beneviento? I don't know, it shook things up enough. I think each segment of the game, like each lord, their world was unique enough where I understood, or I was able to, damn it, it kept the game fresh enough for me. And the only reason I don't have the platinum in that game is because of Mercenaries mode, and I dread I hate Mercenaries mode. Just unnecessary, extra hard stuff on the side. Just make that a separate. Werewolves, vampires, ghosts, and then it kind of turned to zombies. Yeah, it was. I understand the apprehension, because Resident Evil started as just zombie outbreak, and it was the intrigue behind the corporations. You know, what did Umbrella have to do with it? You know, the intrigue of all of the different characters and storylines going on. I understand the dread that, like, Resident Evil 8 realistically had nothing to do with the overarching story of the franchise. Hobo, Magneto, Arden zombies were like the only zombies in the game. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a nice change of pace. Like 7 I also really enjoyed, but that one, you know, that one hardly, I mean, in a way, it felt very detached from the primary, and that just goes with the character of Ethan. I think the reason the games don't feel as connected with everything else is because you're not playing as Chris or Leon. It's or Claire. It's the new guy for a couple of games. 7 I liked, had mold monsters. I too enjoyed the mold monsters. Yeah, I don't know. I respect it. I respect that, you know, you're not a fan of 8, but it's one of those things where as a Resident Evil game, it's certainly not up there in my opinion. As a Resident Evil game, I have played better. As just a first-person shooter, the gameplay loop was so smooth, and the standalone story was so good. Every Resi Pass Forge is broken. The most important rule to me: conservation of mass is very important to me. 7 actually had a decent justification. Yeah, I can see that. 5, I played a little bit of 5. I think RE8 could have just been a horror game. Yeah, like, I would be interested to see if they tie it more into the larger story, because obviously, like, Chris was in the game at a certain point. It's part of the larger story. I would just be interested to see what they do with it conceptually, like what RE9 does. Nope, not off the cliff, please. Out of ammo. RE8... Resi 8 was a great game, but I agree that other Resident Evil games are better. Like, 2 and 3 are just better Resident Evil games for what it means to be a Resident Evil game. Also, they had, like, different magic strands. I would have been more into it. But that it all came from one thing. One thing was basically made them all folklore monsters. Felt way off base. Oh, you mean like the Megamycete? Yeah. Like, it didn't feel very cohesive. Like, if they had done like different strains of the Megamycete, it was like we fused we fused the fungus with this thing, and it turned Moreau into this, and it turned Donna into this. I don't hate 8, but the potential implications worry me. Understandable. Like, I'm hoping Resident Evil 9... Not to say that they have to go back to Raccoon City to make a Resident Evil game great again. But I do think, as we try to make vampires, and we use it on a wolf, became... In a bit, someone spread the werewolf virus. I think I stand by that Resident Evil 8 is a great game just on its own. But the more that we talk about it, yeah, make Resident Evil great again. I agree that Resident Evil, like, with the introduction of Ethan, Resident Evil has kind of been taking a detour. I feel like the Ethan games, 7 and 8, in retrospect, they could have been spin-off games, like 0, Code Veronica, Revelations. They could have been spin-off games, not necessarily... I don't know. Now that 8 is over, and we've seen you know, the story of 8. It doesn't feel like... Yeah, no, it's... 7 had the best DLC side campaign of all fucking time. I never played the DLC for, Swamp Boxer 2000 is the greatest side story I've ever experienced. I'll take your word for it. I never played the DLC for 7. There we go. If they had any ESP stuff, like experiments, I would have been more open to the ghost parts. You play as their estranged uncle in 8, who finds Zoe and wants to save her. He only knows how to punch. Oh my god. It's literally Punch-Out v Zombies. That is demented. I love that so much. Oh, do we want... He eats grubs off trees and gators.
To use the hover bomb.
I know how to use the hover bomb. Let me... Oh, we already need to... That... I don't think we're gonna need the Hypnomatic anymore.
Press circle to launch the bomb.
No, shit. Shit. Yeah. I don't know, it's been... In all honesty, I think 5 and 8 are the only Resident Evil games I've played in the last 2 years. I might play through those again on stream, like 1 through 8, and then because I have most, if not all of them. I think the only one I don't have is Code Veronica, but. Excuse me, fellas. Well, this has been great. Those guys just keep spawning, not worried about them. I can think of a bunch of things that they could have flavored it with. I would have been way more open to it being an RE game. But because they're just kind of like, magic mutations, I don't know. I was like, yeah. Totally what you play. One of my buddies is playing through the entire series. He just got to 6, so I cannot wait. Oh no! Here's the thing. 5 is boring. 6 is so bad it's good. Like the ridiculousness that in my opinion is the most like not Resident Evil game. Is 6 in my opinion. Just cuz like at least 8 had a lot of good horror elements, right? Like Resident Evil is one of like the forefront horror video games. I can't think of a single thing from 6 that scared me. 6 will break him. He's been praising the series so much till now. The baby is straight up Silent Hill tier. Oh man. See, and Resident Evil 8 has other like terrifying. I think the House Beneviente, House Beneviente, I believe. It's been a minute. Like the baby house, the baby. That's like the scariest moment in the game because it takes away a lot of your agency as like a protagonist, which is terrifying. But there's just other good scary moments in that game. I think there's an optional boss in the game. There's two really good optional bosses in the game. One of them is in an old mill, and the other one is like there's like a big werewolf back towards the beginning of the game that only shows up after like partway through the game. I like the Duke. Yeah, God, my brain. That, like, werewolf boss fight, because, like, if you know it's there, that's one thing, but then there's knowing what you're getting into. Just a serious merchant man. Yeah, no, the Duke is fun. He's so capricious. And that's one thing I like a lot about Resident Evil 8. They never felt the need to justify the Duke. He was just there, which is the most Duke thing. There we go. Yeah, so there's two optional boss fights. One is with the big werewolf, and again, if you know it's there, that's one thing. And then there's actually knowing what that boss fight entails, because he's in. You have to trace the green line. It's finding the path through the orb, because there's a handful of like dead end paths, which really sucks. And it's also on a time limit, which sucks. Nope. Yeah, so those ball challenges, it's on a timer. There's a lot of dead ends, and the DualShock 2, this controller, it's a little finicky in terms of its like 8-point directional. So a lot of times, if there's two paths right next to each other, you can just go down the wrong path accidentally, which sucks. Shit. There we go. Hell and gone from them, but I got him. Alright, we have one more bolt to get in this room, one more platinum bolt, and then the final boss fight. We're basically there. And this one will not take as long as the Jack 2 final boss. That I can assure you. Oh, what the hell. I can also afford that. Okay, let's get ready. Although, to be fair, Ari kind of turned from only horror to horror soap opera pretty fast. What do you mean by horror soap opera? What do you mean by that? You mean like the melodrama? Spooky to mansion to Wesker's reveal and the betrayal. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I understand now. I get it. Let's grab that. Like, even if the voice acting wasn't perfectly campy, turns into a soap opera pretty fast, especially when you find the other stars members in the mansion. OG voice act. Yeah. I there's something about and Silent Hill 2 did this too, which I'm a little worried about the Silent Hill 2 remake coming out, but there's something about the voice acting in those like before before like translation into from like Japanese games into Western games before there was a real before there was a greater drive to get it right for things like that. Oh man. Silent Hill 2's voice acting is phenomenal in terms of we'll call it memorability. You remember, it's easy to recall how definitely adds to it a way you both or you wouldn't really expect on paper. It does. There's something about nope. Which Resident Evil game what had a Jill sandwich? Silent Hill 2 VA just makes it seem more like a fever dream. Exactly. Not even the people feel real. Which Resident Evil game had a Jill sandwich? You were almost turned into a Jill sandwich. That was the very first one. Okay. And then there's, was it 5? Was it 5 or 6 where Chris Redfield punched a boulder? Because it went from goofy voice lines to goofy actions. Just what was actually happening on screen. Did you know they just found the guy who They just found the guy who voice acted Barry on the street. I believe that. It's like, hey, you want to be in a you speak English? You want to be in a video game? My friend who never played the RE games before had never seen, not even like as a meme. My only regret is that I wasn't there for the Wesker fight. Oh man. Because I feel like of everything that Resident Evil has done, the boulder thing's pretty substantial. Just as a joke, right? That's not just me. No foul on him, but I went crazy watching him do the first Wesker fight. I just need the... Oh, yeah, with the missile launcher. Like, I found an excuse when I came back, he'd already beat it.
This is it. The protopet
He did fine, then.
room.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had some trouble with the guards.
No problem. You're just in time. Okay, let's see if this thing works.
She is trying to tell us something.
Bye now, Enjoy the Hygienator. Remember, you bought it from Steve.
This
Steve
fucking guy.
Quark. Indeed. Now that I've sold my 1 millionth Hygienator, I can finance the comeback of the greatest superhero who ever lived, Captain Quark! All I need now is a new galaxy with a new fan base, so I can rescue them from a new disaster!
But
Sir, I do not understand.
Mr. Fizzwidget?
This is bad.
All right, just what the is going on?
Allow me to explain. I'm about to save the galaxy from the Protopets, and you are about to become public enemy #1! Oh, and 2 and 3. Guards, seize them! Smile, it's showtime! Citizens of Bogon, I am Captain Quark. I come to you in this, your darkest of hours, to shine the flashlight of justice on your galaxy.
flashlight of justice? Oh,
As you know, a living menace called the Protopet has been set loose in your galaxy. But fear not, Bogonites. I, Captain Quark, have caught the perpetrators. Yes, good citizens, these are the masterminds behind Megacorp's experiment with death. And now, with this, super electro gadget I invented, I will end the Protopet threat once and for all.
That's my Elixamorph. I invented.
Ahem. Stay tuned, dear viewers, as I amplify the signal from this helixo thingy and render every protopet in the galaxy completely harmless. Allow me to demonstrate. Mommy!
does that Helixomorph actually work?
It used to. I could probably fix it.
Come on, Clank. Let's get it back.
Big agree. It did look like a Neopet until now. But yeah, you're right. It does kind of feel like Resident Evil 5 gave up in the last, they were 10 yards from the touchdown and they kind of just phoned it in. It's rough. Okay. Let's, I guess I can, that one. Come on. Avoid everything. Like, not thinking of the boss was honestly a cool setting for an RE game. Giant squid whale, giant tentacle monster, volcano fight, all those really bad. Yeah. Like, I... personally, after, like... because I'm pretty sure 4 was the first one set outside of America. Is that... the first boss fight broke me. Was 4 the first Resident Evil game set outside of America? Because I feel like that's the thing they like clung on to. 4 was... 4 was also super bad with that at the end. Yeah, a lot of people don't talk about anything past, like, for 4, nobody ever really talks about the castle, which wasn't great to me. Like, as an idea, cool, I did not like the castle level, but they don't really talk about the castle or anything after that. They just talk about the village segment of the game, which is very unfortunate. Whoops. Yeah, it didn't feel like a real castle. It just kind of kept going. You know, and all the hidden walls and stuff. Oh my god. Okay, well, first of all, that's the boss fight done. That's the final boss fight. We did it.
You did it!
We did it.
It's okay. This is the real Mr. Fizzwidget. Quark had him tied up in a supply closet all this time.
Gentlemen, you have...
Yes, that was the final boss fight. Not even, like, multiple
It was
phases.
nothing, sir. I'm just sorry we couldn't get the Helixomorph back. Right. What do you suppose is wrong with it?
I don't know. It could take months of research and...
The battery is in backwards.
Oops. Imbecilic to the very last. Down, boy.
I just have to amplify the device with Megacorp's TV transponders, and that should cure the other protopets.
Clank? Uh-oh. It's okay. I can fix her. I promise.
Just girl robot. Never explained who she is. We never even get a name for her. There's just girl robot for Clank. I've been locked in that closet for 2 weeks straight. I had to survive off of drinking bleach and eating the mops like they were pasta. I mean, we don't know alien physiology. Fizzwidget could live off of bleach. That's it. It's done. Hell yeah. Unnamed Girl Robot was the heart of the fucking story, dude. So there was no game without her. You joke, but so she's introduced for like the 3rd planet. We don't see her again until halfway through the game, in which she helps break us out of prison. She never says a word, and all she does is open a panel that allows us to break out of prison, and that's the only thing she actually does for the story. There was no game without her. Yeah, but like...
So, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, my goodness.
Horny. Stop it.
So, whatever happened to Quark?
I heard he was working at Megacorp.
So, you fellas new here? You boys should sign up for the new Probomatic. That little baby cleans you something fierce. I just got done testing the full body Waxinator. I am personally sporting a smooth chassis, and there are no tags on my luggage. All right then. Catch you later.
Subject 23A. Please report immediately for crotchetizer testing.
Well, duty calls.
There he goes. Does that count as sexual harassment? I mean, I'm uncomfortable. I think if everybody in the room is uncomfortable, yeah. Look at all of these fun levels that we just blitzed through, because the levels in this game were like 5 minutes long. But yes, I would quantify that as sexual harassment. Yeah, we got We didn't get all the skill points. We're missing 10? 9 or 10 skill points. Got all the bolts. We done did it. It's been done. We did it. James Arnold Taylor, David Kaye, Jim Ward, Roger Bumpus, the voice of Squidward, Michael Bell, Sylvia Amaretto, Steve Bloom as the Thugs for Less leader, Ben Diskin. My man Ben Diskin. They can't even finish the game. I don't feel like they're up. If they can't even finish the game, I feel like you're obligated to. No, see, it's not that they couldn't finish the game. It's just that they had a deadline, so they didn't have a time to optimize the game. And, fun fact about the Broken Yetis, that created an in-office award that Insomniac gives out for, like, the most broken thing programmed into a game. Nobody's looking for it. Nobody wants to produce a bad product. But, like, whoever programmed, like, the most busted part of a game, just as a joke, they present this, like, a statue of the Yeti, this golden Yeti. Most Yetis per level.
All right, fellas, nice and tight now.
The Crotchetizer.
Tested this, right?
What does it do?
Oh, wait, that's why I'm here. Oh, one more thing.
But what does it do? Alright, time warp before we defeated, Behold, my latest evil invention, the Crotchinator. Exactly. We strap you to a wall and it rips your balls off. Alright. Megacorp HQ, Megacorp Lab. That's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much to everybody who stopped by and said hi. I always really appreciate that. What's going on? Oh, it's not over yet. Oh, we're not done yet. So this is weird. It's been a hot minute since I've done something like this. I am not currently live on Twitch right now. This is just between you and me, YouTube. What's going on? How have you been? It's been a while since I've just spoken to you directly. So, I beat this game. We were all there. We remembered when it happened. However, I forgot. I forgore. We gotta go to the Insomniac Museum. It just escaped me. Just couldn't. I completely forgot. So, I mentioned before that Bolden has this weird, but Bolden does this weird thing where in the memory, since this is where the Insomniac Museum is, this is like a default planet. Like when you leave the Insomniac Museum, you just go back to Bolden. But we're going the other way. We're gonna get to the Insomniac Museum from Bolden. I showed off the route to get there before, kind of. We're gonna cheat it. It's fine. Oh, this feels good. It's been a while. How have you guys been? Alright, it's also been like a month since I played Rack 2. Which in the grand scheme of things is not a long time, but... No. Wait, no, not yet. Not yet. Not this area. This is where I want to... There we go. Alright, we are behind the scenes now. Insomniac has a great way of cheating reality. Like, you know, when we were going through this section of the city, it sure looked a lot bigger. You know, looking out across, it sure looked like it expanded on forever. All right. Oh. I just turned this on and went. I was not paying attention. Hover bombs. Okay. That's fine. We got the plasma storm. So yeah, back over on the fountain. In this area, there was a teleporter that would bring us into this building, but we can just how do I get in? Where's my way in? Come on, I've done this before. Where's my way inside? Ah. Hup, hup. There we go. And these guys are actually really tough. Tougher than the normal enemies here on this planet, I would say. Just because, like, you're not supposed to be here, you know, until later. Is this it? Yeah. We're doing it. It's, it'll be a good time. We're gonna wander around. Hey, that's Earth. Planet Burbank. So what's going on here?
I'm a designer at Insomniac Games. Hi, welcome to the Insomniac Museum. Here you'll see some of the great things that never quite made it into the game, and you'll learn a little bit about life here at Insomniac Games.
And obviously this is like a decade old at this point, so culture has probably changed at Insomniac, hopefully for the better.
Insomniac Games. These floating spherical monstrosities are the elusive gravity spheres, which were originally going to be included in Silver City. They proved to be too difficult, and a bit nauseating, to be included. They are preserved here for posterity. Swing shot up to try running around one, and then swing shot again to get off the sphere.
Let me, in all honesty, we're probably just gonna need that, maybe that. We don't need anything here. Yeah, understandable why these, were not included. Yikes. Nauseating indeed. What's over here? There should be water around this corner. Water.
Hi, I'm Leslie Matheson. I'm a designer here at Insomniac Games. This was intended to be the water system for Ratchet and Clank. However, as even this little patch of water taxes the game engine to its limits, a modified and severely optimized form was what eventually made it into the game. To see this patch in action, press circle.
It honestly looks like the water system that eventually went into, and forgive me for blaspheming, Spyro entered the Dragonfly. Like, it does remind me a lot of that water. Look at those ripple effects. It's nice. A little too shiny for my taste. Yup. On the wall, cause why not?
Greetings, this is Oliver Wade, the animation director at Insomniac Games, doing an atrocious British accent. This is the original Gadgetron
Is that what
vendor
that is?
from Ratchet and Clank 1. The official reason it was cut had something to do with saving memory. The real reason has a lot to do with squirrels, hacksaws, and our lawyers. I can say no more, because I am no longer able to do this accent.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Is that British? Is that what that was? Yeah, so originally the Gadgetron vendor was like the guy in the Gadgetron vendor. You know, the guy. Hey, how's it going? So, you gonna buy something or what? Howdy, fuzzball. Yeah, that guy. He was gonna be in the vendor.
Hi there.
It's a good time.
My name's Tim Trespass. I'm a gameplay programmer here at Insomniac Games. I'm a Leo from Washington, D.C. I like anime and shiny objects. This monstrosity was intended to be a boss battle fought on the jet ski gadget. Seeing as the jet ski never made it in Ratchet and Clank, however, neither did this boss. May he rest in pieces.
The jet ski gadget. Well, this looks like it was reused. This looks like the little on planet Dobo. On our way to like inside the facility. We had to get past like all those defenses with the hover tanks and stuff for the hover sentinel security system. This was like painted red and yellow, it sprung up out of the ground, and it like sent out electrical little shockwaves. Just curious if that was a reused attack from this boss.
Hi, my name is Sean Whistler, and I'm a tester here at Insomniac Games. This guy was originally intended to be an enemy in the ill-fated jet ski level that never made it into Ratchet and Clank 1. A moment of silence, please, for this gentle giant, torn down in his prime.
I said Waterworld. He said jet ski level. Wonder if there was meant to be like a planet with more water than Pokataru. Know what I mean? Like maybe we get the jet ski on Pokataru or something. I don't know.
Sean here.
Interesting.
Don't worry, Ratchet. You wouldn't have had to fight this monster even if he did make it into the game. This giant bug ship was intended to act as scenery only, flying from place to place to ensure high detail on buildings, while leaving the play area open.
What was the rest of that? For you to run around and fight the giant robot. Alas, it was cut due to time constraints. Okay. It's a pretty sick looking bug ship. Yeah, so this is, since there was no Insomniac Museum for the first game, this is just cut content from both games. Ah, yes. This was seen in the hands of the miner in Rack 1.
Here at Insomniac Games. You may recognize this drill from Ratchet and Clank 1. It was held by a large construction worker who gives you a lump of raritanium. This is originally a weapon called the Revolverator. Ratchet would strike enemies with it and then spin them over his head. Corey here.
With the drill bit. Unfortunately, this ended up leaving Ratchet open for attacks and also required a lot of resources to pull off, so it was cut. Honestly, it's fucking huge. Yeah, and here, yeah, this is just their particle effects simulator, so you could change the effects and stuff to make different kinds of explosions.
I'm a programmer at Insomniac Games. This little demonstration allows you to create your own shot effect. Using the magic of debug technology, you can edit the shot's size and color, and then watch the bandit shoot it at the Blockman. Don't feel too sorry for the Blockman, though. He's evil.
They're so quiet.
Tony Garcia
so timid.
This wonder of an explosion was created especially for Ratchet and Clank 2. Its extreme versatility allowed it to creep into many different places in the game. You'll even see it in the electrolyzer puzzles. Stand on the blue pad to make your own explosions.
Yeah, and you can change, make it bigger, number of moon rocks, number of silvers, molten rocks. Yes, we're just making this a really chunky explosion. Number of clouds. Oh yeah, that's blooming like crazy. Number of lines. Let's not make it as red. Let's not make it as red. Let's not make it as green. Let's see if we can make a nice purple explosion. So we're gonna want more blues. Oh yeah, that's looking real nice. Bring down the red. Yeah. Distortion. Oh, okay, it's a positive negative. I see. Creates this like ripple effect. Let's not do the ripple effect. Shell? I'm not entirely seeing what shell changes. Shake camera? Hell yeah. So yeah, that's pretty neat, and we can do the same thing over here. We won't waste too much time here, but let's not make the trail as thick. Tip scale. Make it a very large shot. End texture. Oh, that is nasty. And the other one allows us to change color, but we won't worry about it. What's in here? Oh, this is just the block enemy.
Hello, this is Pedro Hastinas. I am a gameplay programmer at Insomniac Games. This dummy was created to test the new reaction system which we added to Ratchet and Clank 2. With this system, enemies would always be sure to react appropriately to being damaged without a ton of hassle. Go ahead and hit him. He won't mind.
So, hit him in the gut. Can we hit him in the head? Nah, it's just... I mean, it looks nice. Oh yeah, the mirror. Ugh. What the hell is this? Something's not right here. It's an unrendered ship. So we have the mirror.
Hey, this is Peter again. This was created to test screen buffer effects. Screen buffer effects are used to create things like distortion bubbles and heat hazing. This, however, ends up looking like a hall of mirrors. Can you guess why?
Because it's the camera, so the camera's just pointed at the camera. Like whatever is in frame, like whatever we are currently looking at. It's a good time. A very similar effect. This one just steam vents and stuff. Again, we can change the look of that if we so chose. This thing always terrified me as a kid. I don't know why it's so big.
This monstrous robotic squid was created for one of the Ratchet and Clank 2 prototype levels. Since that level never made it into the finished game, however, neither did poor Squiddy.
I would hate to fight that.
My name is Chris Town.
That's a helmet.
I'm a tester here at Insomniac Games. This helmet was the original model for the Hologuise gadget in Ratchet and Clank 1. It was eventually changed to the handheld model you see in the finished game for reasons unknown. However, we once again suspect it was due to the squirrels with hacksaws.
Sure. Yeah, a little big, but you know.
Hello, I'm Carl Grande, QA manager here at Insomniac Games. This gadget was originally intended for Ratchet and Clank 1. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut, and so never saw the light of day. It now makes its home here at Insomniac Museum, gone but not forgotten.
That would have been pretty cool, but c'est la vie. Look at him. No weapons on this ship. Cool. Ah, yes.
Mike Stout here. Have you ever wanted to create your own infiltrator puzzle? Well, now you can.
No.
Just stand on the blue pad and play around with the values a bit. Confound your friends and amaze your enemies.
No. Infiltrator bad. I didn't.
Hey, this
there's
is Peter again. This little widget was used to test our new chunk system. We lovingly call it the corn system. Notice how all the breakables in this game are much prettier? Well, that's corn working hard for you. Give it a whack and see what it does.
Maybe I will. Yeah, that chunked all right.
Mike
What's this
Stout
guy
here.
about?
Fear the random robot NPC. This robot never made it into Ratchet and Clank 1 because of the fabled Day of Poultry, when chickens swarmed over our offices and pecked the computer, holding this mechanical darling to pieces. We were able to retrieve her eventually, though.
That sure is just a robot. Neat. It's a pretty cool robot design. I think there's... No. Behind us is the squid. That's the particle effects. What's right behind? This is right at the entrance. Nope. Cool, but what is it?
This car was originally going to be included in the battle with the giant robot on Snivlac. Unfortunately, its lack of heavy weaponry proved its bane. It now calls the Insomniac Museum its home.
It fits the aesthetic of Snivlac. Again, no weapons. Too bad. Three-headed something or
This is
other.
Oliver Wade, the animation director here at Insomniac Games. The three-headed Hydra
Please
was
stop.
a big cut from Ratchet and Clank 1. It was originally intended as a mini-boss on Pokitaru. Ratchet battled this beast whilst riding a boat through blowfish-infested waters. However, it didn't end up being that much fun at all. Hiya!
And rather than spend inordinate amounts of time on it, it was eventually scratched. That definitely fits the Pokitaro aesthetic. Yeah, bug ship. I think that's everything inside. Let's head outside. Yeah, got that. Damn it. Alright. Nope. Hit the wrong button. Oh, it's fast. Okay. That. There we go. Let's head outside.
Hey, this is Peter again. These teleporters were originally intended to go into several of the levels. Due to time constraints, however, they were eventually cut.
I think for the better. I think having a uniform style of teleporter in the game, very good call. Look at this big, beautiful
Brian
room.
Allgeier here. These escalating rows of blocks were used when we were in the early stages of creating Ratchet and Clank 1. They were used to test Ratchet's jump heights and jump distances to see which would be the most fun.
Exactly. So we have how many meters in game? How tall is Ratchet? Oh, thank God he's not 2 meters tall. That'd be scary. This is like a meter. Okay, not quite a meter and a half. Meter and a quarter? I wish I knew what a meter was. 1 meter of distance. 2 meter of distance. 3. Okay, so we can make 4 meters without needing to double jump, 5 meters on the edge, 6 meters double jump. Oop. Nice. 10 meters with the glide. 11 meters should just grab the edge. It would, but we're too tall. Right on.
Brian,
What we got over here?
These walls, which range from narrow to wide, were used to test wall kick distances for the original Ratchet and Clank.
Cool.
Brian Allgeier here. These ramps get steeper and steeper as you go on. They were used to test how Ratchet's feet respond to different floor angles. It also helped establish that a 45-degree angle was the sharpest that Ratchet should be able to walk up.
Half of a 90. Interesting. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So what about at a 50? Nope, that's it. All right. It was always kind of frustrating as a kid. Like I for some reason couldn't comprehend what that message was telling me, and I was like, but the ramps keep going. There's a window up there. What's up in that window? Bothers me to this day. What's over here? What's going on? I don't think there's anything at the end of this. Yeah, no, it's just, alright. Let's get out of here. But there's still more. Oop. There's a teleporter to take us back inside, and this
Hi, Leslie here. This gravity tower was created to test the Magna boots in Ratchet and Clank 1. However, with the new gravity boots that Ratchet gets in Ratchet and Clank 2, this tower is much more fun. Can you imagine scaling this tower while walking at half of Ratchet's speed? Yeah, we thought so.
Yes. God, the gravity boots are so much better than the Magna boots. Yeah, can you imagine thump, 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 thump? Awful. Am I actually going anywhere? Oh, I am. I thought it was tricking me. Damn it. Okay. It's fine. You get the idea. Is there nothing out? Ah. That sure is a person. Nothing to say? Alright. Nope, no way to get back from right here. Well, that's it. That's the Insomniac Museum. It appears in a lot of different Ratchet and Clank games. Unfortunately, there's not an easy way to cheat to it for Rack 3. Maybe in the future, but probably not right away with the first playthrough. Maybe like once we go back, once we do like a New Game Plus playthrough for Rack 3, clean up all the skill points and the trophies and stuff, just to get just to properly open the Insomniac Museum. That's probably the way to do it. But yeah, that's gonna do it. That's going Commando. Done and done. Probably already heard it once in this video, but you can find me on Twitch. That's where these originally go live. Twitter for my announcements. Be good, be kind, treat people the way you want to be treated. I'll catch you in the next one.